Hello, good morning and welcome to Berringer on this, the 4th of December, and this is a layout update. And the first thing you can see is the bridge that I had scratch built and been working on. And originally it was just plain plasticard and it hadn't been painted, but so far it has been painted, and we've got a retaining wall which still needs dressing and detailing. It hasn't gone all the way through because basically I've run out of plasticard and I haven't been able to get any more from the local model shop, so I'm waiting for them to get some more in so I can finish the retaining wall. Come back to the bridge and it's still going to be a storage line, and I've managed to finish the other side of it. If I show you, so now it looks exactly the same as the front, so I'm pretty pleased with that. And like I said, the retaining wall will eventually get done, but like I said, I've run out. The next thing you can see in the foreground is that the station has also been updated. We now have some platform detailing, some stanchions at the end, some ratio fencing, and we also have some lamps for the station too. So the station's starting to come together. I'll be careful as I move along with the cameras not to knock them. And as you can see, my idea of the stabling point, where you can see my 60, and that was the whole point of it. It's just to use that platform end as a stabling point, as it wasn't very wide to begin with. And if you can see, you can probably just about see through the fencing just how narrow the platform is, which is why I've used it as a sort of stabling point. Also, I've added a little fence, a little gate there, sorry, so the driver can get from the loco back onto the platform using that little gate. And like I said, the platform lighting is very effective, as it's just because it's very simple, which is how I remember doing my layouts in the past, and that's why I sort of wanted to keep it this way. And it's all it is, it's just a Nightwing, discontinued I should say, non-working lamp, platform lamp. I had a bit of trouble trying to get hold of these because obviously a lot of people are moving to DCC, so I guess there isn't much of a call for these, but for me it was perfectly adequate. It's simple but effective. I think you can sort of agree as you look down. You can see that the station has sort of sprung to life with a little red portal cabin. It's starting to get painted into the NSC colours, and as you can see the retaining wall on the right, that will all be covered in the brown retaining wall and then used with some weathering powders to weather that up and lighten it up so it doesn't look too dark. Another thing I've been doing, which is a big thing and taking a lot of time, is been working on this end, because I now decided to create a bit of a town scene. Now one of the other things you'll notice is that I've actually decided to recess the footbridge into the town scene, which is this bit here. It was going to be used as a template, I've decided to use it as an extra bit. What I've done is I've recessed that in, and then we're going to have a nice little wall here, and then blend that all in so it actually looks like it's all part of it. So that's the plan there. And this is now grown in width because it's only like down here, so this has now been risen to the level of the station. So now we've got a whole town scene to play with along the back here. And if I show you the two through lines, basically they will run as a curve parallel all the way around, There's no point work under there, it's just parallel till it gets to the end, and then it'll come out to here, which is where the turbo banjo will be, and then it'll just do a reverse return loop. As you can see, my construction that I've been doing, I haven't put the return loop in because actually when I test fitted it I made a little mistake and need to cut a little notch in there just to sit the turbo banjo in properly right in there, so I need to do that. That's another little odd job. But if you can see it from here, you can see it's all pretty level, and you can also see that this is the board I was using to spray the fencing. I tried painting the fencing, and in all honesty, if you're going to use the wooden fencing from ratio, a tip is not to paint it with a brush, because then you start losing the detailing in the nooks and crannies, because as you can see through the fencing. But with the brush, when you start trying to paint and get to nooks and crannies, sometimes the paint sort of gets stuck in there, and then you lose some of the holes that you could see through, and it just looks really awful, to be quite honest. So I tested a couple of bits of fencing with the brush, and I didn't like it, so then I decided to spray it. Also, I was going to use the concrete fencing, which is the Southern Region concrete fencing, excuse me, from Ratio, but to me that was too solid, and then I would lose the detailing on the locos, because with this fencing you can still sort of see through it, although it is obscured you can still see through it, and you kind of get a hint and a glimpse of what's behind, which is what I liked about it, which is why I decided to use this fencing instead. And going back to the town scene, the idea for the town scene is I've just put a number of buses that I had. The two that I'm more likely to use would probably be the National and the Rapide, but I do have some others, and I was just sort of testing with a format of maybe where I was going to put a bus stand or whatever. This is a model scenes bus stand, but this bit here was from a fueling point that I had from the Nightwing fueling point that I didn't use. So I was half thinking that I might actually cut that in half, get some plastic card and actually extend it so it goes all the way from that end to this end, and maybe get another bus shelter, so you kind of got a whole row of a bus shelter. Where my transit van, I was just pretending it was a cab, so I was trying to work out maybe a little cab rank along here, so that's why that's there. And along here the back wall is going to be risen to a foot high, and there's going to be a depth of a foot high, and then we're going to put some back scenes on there as well. So the back scenes that were there didn't go to waste, they actually got reused and cut up and made the framing part for this lower piece, obviously. So that's what's been done there. So that's about it really. It's just, like I said, it's nothing huge or terribly exciting. Forgive me if you can hear some sounds in the background, it's just some of my neighbours. But yeah, it's just odd little bits and pieces that I've been doing. But I think you agree, you can sort of see the idea of what I'm trying to achieve, and slowly but surely it's coming to life. So I'm enjoying making it. I mean, I think that's the bit I enjoy more, actually, to be truthful. I think I enjoy using my mind and my imagination to get things to come to life, and like so many people said, it's kind of like knowing that at the end you've achieved something, is that you think looks good, is kind of means a lot more to me. I mean, I enjoy looking at layouts and going to exhibitions and stuff, but I do enjoy watching fellow YouTubers bringing their layouts to life, because it's always interesting to see how a layout develops. And I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all my subscribers for tuning in. I didn't think it was that hugely a popular layout or going to be overly interesting, but I'm glad that so many of you have taken an interest, so thank you very much. And like I said, we will have some trains running soon. It's just that I always seem to be working on something rather than running a layout. And I always think that operationally, until I can sort of see the layout sort of come to life a little bit more, it's you know, just want to bring it up a bit more to what I think is going to look good to run it on. I'm still thinking of putting a retaining wall along the back bit here, so that's another job that I'm thinking I might be doing. But I'm very pleased with what's happened, and as you can see through the top, if I show you how it's been recessed, there's two reasons why I've recessed this footbridge actually. One is the fact that it stops the footbridge from wiggling around a bit and it keeps it in position, and also it's also relatively level to where the station is, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to get a bit of card, and that will bridge the gap all the way around here to create that sort of platform and paving. So I'm looking forward to carrying on and doing a bit more of that. This is in 3 sections. You've got this section here and this section. This section here is fixed. This section here will be a lift out section, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put a couple of handles on here underneath some Metcalf buildings or something like that to conceal them, and then when I need to raise the panel, I can just lift it up with the handles. So this is a left out section just so if there is any issues with the track under there, I can still get to the track, but there shouldn't really be any issues because there's no point work there. So, but obviously I don't want to sort of nail everything down and glue everything down and then it kind of, you can't get to it if there's an issue, so, and then you get the frustration of it all. So yeah, so stay tuned, and hopefully within the next few weeks and so there'll be a bit more work done. I'm hoping to be able to get some more plastic on so I can finish the retaining wall, but for now it's just going to have to be left as is, and hopefully I'll get some more as and when, but I've obviously got loads of other bits and pieces to be working on, so it's not really a problem. So thanks for watching, and take care, and feel free to comment and subscribe. Bye for now.